G'day everyone. So this week for GAC, I had the pleasure of facing PhatPhil, awesome YouTuber. Go check him out, all that. Thought I'd record some of the matches, see what's going on. So we'll get straight into it with Seer versus Ray. Now, Cal is on defense with Ray, who almost got a hold. Very close one there. This lineup worked for me in the last round, so I didn't have any concerns going in. My other option here was to use Leia, but I thought Seer would get it done just fine. As we'll find out, turns out that wasn't the case. Now, I probably made a bunch of mistakes here. But that's just how Grand Arena is, you know. You make mistakes. Things are constantly changing, so now we've got to deal with the Barris situation. Yeah, General Kenobi doesn't really often have a spot in his usual lineup, so you've just got to work out different things. One thing I'll notice about PhatPhil's, is Ray and Ben, both very high offense. So that probably works out very well for him here. Now, I did mention to PhatPhil that Barris got stealth rather than Ben. He thinks that's probably just because it's Relic 8 versus Relic 5, which makes sense. So, yep, all this is completely normal. I am absolutely not ready for what's coming next. So, Maul doing his thing. Now, I did take in the extra offense Datacron, so was not expecting so much recovery. Wasn't expecting it to be so hard to get through. Now, maybe I should have altered here with Starkiller, but I thought I'd be safe. So Ray comes through and wipes out everyone, and I think, oh no, it's going to be a Ray. It's going to be a Leia cleanup. This is looking terrible. I'm just like, okay, can Starkiller do something? And behold, I don't even know how this works. And done. Alright. Not a good start. I was hoping to one-shot everything. Gonna clean up with gas. Pretty straightforward. Just saving the cleanse and turn up for when Ray goes, or for when gas is down. So I am speeding these games up as well, because I find the one-time speed just a little bit dull. Like, especially when there's so many YouTube videos out there to watch. So many Galaxy of Heroes videos. It's like, you really can't do these grand arenas at one-time speed. Alright, so yep, this is all this doesn't even need commentary. How's your day been? Let's focus on that. It's like, you could easily put this on auto from here. But no, absolute pleasure to play PhatPhil. I messaged him before the game. Like, as soon as I saw his name come up, I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's that guy. Yeah, and he was very friendly, and yeah, it was good. Alright, Ray's going into ultimate again. Yep, and finish him off here. She goes below 50% health again. Another sudden whirlwind. Alright, Fives is gonna miss out on some banners here, but get that extra banner with gas. Alright, not a great start, but here we go. JMK versus the SLKR Datacron. So in a few months, this whole match will be redundant because it's kind of very Datacron dependent. But here we are. Alright, so yeah, the poke on JMK is the absolute best start you could want. But either way, you know, I've never had much of a problem in 5v5. For the first time I did this in 5v5, I did a 2-shot strategy. So I sent in like some Ewoks and stuff to burn all their cooldowns. Not needed. Not needed for 5v5. So this was just a pretty solid defense Datacron with the bulk level 3. That's a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter. Taking a lot of turns, but really not threatening enough. Kylo goes into ult. So I think there's a couple here. Yeah, there's a couple that take their turn before Cat, and I'm thinking, oh shit, can I get an ability block on her? So that worked out. That might have been a bit lucky with the fear on Cat. But either way, you know, this is a very straightforward match. So using my Boltcron here rather than the Jedi one, that lets me use the Jedi one in the next match, as you'll see. So Kylo will get the double ult here. And that was just for some... Why did I do that? That's a good question. I think I just wanted to try and get Kylo out before his next ultimate, but that didn't work. Alright, so here I've got to think about getting some protection up. So I called Padme to assist there. And again, I think I do a basic here, just a little bit of protection up. And yep, and then that's all plain sailing from there. Now that Cat's no longer in any trouble, JMK will get the ult again, and no worries at all. Alright, another 65. And yeah, so here we have the Datacron with Luke. I'm really just, you know, it can be done with bow. Yeah, but I'm not quite. I don't have enough confidence in my bow to be able to do that. Especially because, you know, I know how well PhatPhil's things are modded. Here there's probably a little bit of a misplay, but it really doesn't matter. The Datacron's just that powerful that Luke kind of takes 50 turns and goes through everyone. Alright, so here I'm like, yep, which one next? Just might as well go after Apo. Yep, do you go all in for Lord Vader? Sure, why not? Doesn't matter. Yeah, what else is going on in the game? How's everyone doing on pirates? I'm curious as to who's going after pirates when. You know, I know there's some people that'll get all 6 or 7, 6, or however many there will be. I know there's some who'll be just going after them straight away. I've sort of started with kicks. And honestly, I'm just happy that I'm now at the point of the game that I can go after new characters. Because I started this game in about April 2020. And for so long, it was catching up. Not being able to get new characters until like a year or so after, until they'd gone accelerated, basically, when that became a thing. So yeah, it's really great to finally be on that the same cycle as the top players. And maybe that's something for newer players. Like, yeah, you'll eventually get there. Just keep going. All right. So yeah, that was very straightforward. Here's Bo. Honestly, there's plenty of options that I could have used against this team, but Bo just seemed to be the best banners, to be honest. I was in a bit of a banner chase, especially after that Ray battle. So I knew the birds were going to take out Jocasta New, so I wasn't at all worried there. She's not a threat. Yeah, birds will just take out everyone. So other options here like Reaver, I think it's not as good banners. How are people modding their Ayla now? Because I have not changed her in like if anything, like her mods have gotten significantly worse for me in the past, like ever since I relicked her for Kenobi. Initially she was maybe sort of useful in like some lesser Jedi teams, but yeah, she's just not even there. But now she's back, and I really have no idea yet what to do with her. Alright, so we have Gungans against Trench here. So I was running Gungans on defense, but they just get, I don't know, they just get too easily taken out by Treya, and I was expecting Trench, I was expecting PhatPhil to put down Trench, so I was sort of like, okay, what can I do that'll be really good banners? And yeah, I don't really miss having Gungans on defense. I'm making some misplays here, but I think that's fine. Yep. Trench is gone. Watt'll be gone in a minute. So even though I've dropped a battle already, my banners otherwise are doing pretty well. And sort of consistent 65s across the board. Got the death mark there, mute straight out. And let's not even worry about the extortion. Just go after Django. Too easy. Another 65. And back wall. Back wall. This was tough. So last week, or the past 2 weeks, I've been taking the OG Night Sister team with Marin. And that works really well for me. Like, it's not good banners, but it's super easy, does the job. But this time I put Marin on defense. Sort of as like a bit of a trap, I guess. You know, sort of a low win rate Night Sister team. I wasn't expecting Jabber on defense either. So yeah. Anyway, Afra, usually pretty solid. I did use Pirate Guy. What's Pirate Guy's name? I did use the Pirate Droid in a match against Jabba last week, and it was fine. Did not expect any problems here, but I think just the blinds on BT are killing me. I don't really remember that happening too much in recent memory. So this was really bad. Oh, this was shocking. Usually I like to put Vader and B2 as the 4th and 5th droid. Now, I should have just stopped there when Chrysanthemum was out, because there is no coming back from this. But yeah, I kept going, and yeah, everyone sort of got eaten. Yeah, so was this one just bad RNG at the start? With the blinds on BT? I don't know. Anyway. Inquisitors, pretty easy cleanup. Inquisitors can one-shot Jabba, but you know, it's always gonna be down to Datacrons, isn't it? And to be fair, PhatPhil's got a really, really good Jabba team. Like, it's got the R9s. I think my Chrysanthemum might be at 7. With my Jabba team, I have a pretty decent layer. But everyone else is pretty rubbish. But in the end, my Jabba got a hold, so it'll be interesting to see what was used then. This Embo just wouldn't go down. Oh, there was someone else I was watching a video from today, and it was Reva against what was it? Keller and Beck, and K-Beck had the death mark and would just not go down. It was frustrating. I mean, it would have been frustrating to play, yeah. It was sort of funny, but anyway. So here, yeah, there's probably things I could have. Like, I wasn't even really focusing there. Like, I just thought, oh yeah, do the third one, get the armor shred, without realizing you didn't have enough stacks. Here, my brain was a little bit in autopilot. I just lost track a bit of the cooldowns as well, so I didn't really know when Jabba's cleanse was. As soon as I got those thermals, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to end well. Knew I was going to lose some banners. I think I did avoid neutralizing. Yeah. Yeah, so don't use that middle ability. If some of you guys are at full. I know it seems straightforward, but there's, not everyone knows. Sometimes it's just, oh, use the specials. Alright, so Jabba's down. 41. This is the point where I was thinking I was in trouble. Because I thought that my ray would get a hold. I did have a bit of a look at, what PhatPhil might have on offense, and what he sort of typically uses for things. I thought my ray would get a hold. In the end, it didn't, but yeah, 2 battles down. It was looking like a bit of trouble. Right, now, I don't have the Boba Fett Cron. Sign of Django, yeah. That one. I didn't realize that PhatPhil does have the Sign of Django Cron. So when I saw that he'd got really high banners against my saw, like, my heart sort of sank a bit. Because yeah, I guess I would have maybe taken Saw on offense, if I thought that he could just beat it with 2 characters. Anyway, when I was sort of planning things out, I was thinking of Balin against Saw, and even leaving Leia on defense, but Leia's always that. She's that bit of assurance. Like, if things had really went to shit in the Rey battle, Leia would have been sort of the backup. Plus, Leia's just a much better percentage win in this particular battle. Like, Balin, it's pretty reliable, but like, you never know. Sometimes you just get a little bit of bad RNG. Don't know why I cleanse there. Everything's locked. But anyway, so still can't get to Luthen there. Now can get to Luthen, stun him, take him down. Yeah, 65 banners. So another way I could have done things were Seer against Saw, which is not as reliable. And then Leia against Rey, obviously. Anyway, all right. So last time I had this battle against the new Omega, I used gas, and unfortunately it timed out. I'm not sure if it was just because they had the Datacron, or if it was like a number of things about the Datacron causing the timeout. I was really surprised because the other team just gets so many buffs that, like, you'd think that they just start hitting like trucks, but it didn't happen. So yeah, I won't be using gas against this new Bad Batch for a while. Malgus very safe. Um, yeah, so they didn't take out Bastila. That was good. Um, Again, even with the like, yeah, I dropped 2 battles. My other banners have been really solid. Um, so I guess the thing is, you've always gotta like just yeah try not to get too upset. Uh, if you do lose, like if you lose that second battle, you think, oh, that's it, it's done. Now, admittedly, I wasn't sure if Fear would go on to Hunter then, because the leader's sort of taken out, and that's what happens with Revan, you know. If the leader's taken out, Fear goes, spreads to everyone. But it turns out, uh, yeah, the leader needs to be fully dead and not just resting. Alright, and very easy, 65 banners. Yep. The new Bad Batch is disappointing. Very disappointing. I didn't go after them straight away, but as soon as they were, um, as soon as they were on nodes, I was like, yep, just be in there and farm them. Yeah, disappointing. Apart from the raid, I don't know if it's worth it. I noticed that both PhatPhil and I have dissed the original Omega. Um, I guess that's a thing when you're so far behind on like in terms of starting the game. You just gotta really pick what characters you wanna take immediately up. And Omega was not one. Um, I was pretty confident on which the recommission. Oh, can't even think of what it got. Um, anyway, yeah, I was pretty confident on the recommission before Bad Batch and Omega came out. So I just did not bother. But yeah, new Omega. Yeah, I want them to be able to do something. And maybe when I take them to Relic 7, they can take out some Padmes. But, yeah, not getting a lot done. Alright, so ships. Now, regardless of whether he used the Houndstooth lineup or the triple attacker lineup, I wasn't really worried. In my shard, there's a couple guys who run with the Executor every day, so I'm just used to it. I've noticed that some YouTubers, and no criticism of them, it's completely understandable, but some just fall apart in this battle because they're just not used to it. They want to use their special straight away. It's in Grand Arena. They don't want to waste time. Alright, so I did that for a bit more turn meter. Yeah, so was not worried about this battle. I do it every day. I'm still trying to maximize the banners here. So taking out Razor Crest stops them from wiping out the TIE Interceptor or targeting anything else. So yeah, this is, yeah, after, you know, after earlier, this is a big relief. Alright, so shock, yeah, shock on Houndstooth here. Very straightforward. Easy finish, 75 banners. Again, I'm just looking for the max banners. So I take in Executor, the 3 attackers. Now to me, I picked this lineup, or I picked to bring Executor on attack because I really wanted to take the RNG out of my fleets. You know, like, who knows if I'll ever face, you know, if I'll ever face like another person that like I know via the internet. You know, I wanted to be a good game. I wanted to take the RNG out of it. And I really was hoping to get some holds on the ground. I don't like winning with fleets. Because it's really just so RNG based. I'm pretty confident in which is it? Executrix versus Executor. I'd say I have maybe a 75% sort of win rate with that. But I really didn't want this one to come down to RNG. Alright, so again, taking in 4. So, pretty easy, pretty straightforward Radis battle. I assume everyone goes for that one first. I don't really know. You could probably, like, you could even go for the Star Fortress as well. I don't know, but anyway, this is just how I do it. I do lose some banners at the end, but that's okay. See, now Star Fortress has got all the protection up and crit immunity. So yeah, it's a bit tankier. Alright, so that one comes in. I've already forgotten what that ship's called, but anyway. Clear that foresight just to remove any remote risk of the ultimate. So my BLT is looking really bad. Yeah, 74 banners. BLT dropped a little bit there. Alright, 1 to go. And I didn't really have much left over. So in terms of like the way I set out the board, this was pretty good. Probably the biggest thing I had left over was Sidious and his Datacron. Rest in pepperoni. Yeah, Sith Eternal. Gotta use him somewhere. Yeah. was tossing up, do I do a full solo or bring in what? Might as well just play it safe, bring in what? Get the job done. Okay, so the match is basically over. So a couple hours after this, PhatPhil started attacking. Posted an awesome screenshot with the final of his Seer versus Ray battle. That would have been wild. One with just Maliko surviving. So I'd love to see that if he recorded it. He went down against my Jabber as well. Embo was still alive as well, so not sure if he used an Afra or like maybe a Reaver or something. But anyway, yeah, so one dropped battle on the ground, one dropped battle, and yeah, then he went to ships and dropped a battle, so in the end, good game. Thanks, PhatPhil. I'll put up the screenshot now. Good luck, everyone. Have fun. And catch you later.